breathe. You just gotta breathe. 'Cause running ain't helpful.
Hello sir, how are you?
Absolute pleasure having you here, man.
Thank you. Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure's all mine.
You know what? Do you know what? Seriously, when I went to see you do your show, I didn't expect any that happened. Like, literally. One, he was a character. I didn't expect that character. I met you at the Ned.
Yeah, the Ned. Yeah.
Yeah, were you there? Why were you at the Ned? Tell us a bit about it first.
So Monday night music at the Ned, it's opportunity for me to, well, what I call steal musicians.
Oh.
I'm always out and about in terms of musical environments because the way I select musicians for chapters is usually based on a vibe that I feel is there a story behind that music. So I went to the Ned, I was there with my cousin. I spotted you trying to take a picture of the stage from a very far distance. So in my head I'm like, oh, this guy's a sniper. So that was interesting for me, and so that's why I came up to you. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? And you know, so things like that is how I pick up vibes and how pretty much people attract me to them. Because the beauty of, well, I think the beauty of being in the music world is it's a very talented world. It's saturated with talent, but it's all about what you pick out and the extraordinary or the notion of being ordinary. However, it's how you pick out specific things from people. That's what drew me to you.
Well, thank you, but you know, it's nice. Thank you. That's a great compliment. But so you went there to spot talent. Did you find any talent?
Yes, I did. I was actually there for a musician called Gabrielle Sey. I've been trying to get her in chapters, and I had been to one of her shows. I saw she was going to the Ned, and been trying to talk to her, pretty much get her on our platform. So I went there just to see her in the bigger platform. I'd never been to the Ned on a Monday for music, so I was like, yeah, I might as well try and see what the talent pool is there.
Brilliant.
I love you so, I just can't let you go. The stupid things you say don't mean nothing to me, but you're a waste of space that puts me in my place. I want you to move.
I went to Battersea Barge having on an invitation for myself.
Yeah.
And I can't, seriously, as I said, I didn't expect what I saw. I've not been to the Battersea Barge, but maybe I went there years ago, because I'm not a young kid anymore. But in terms of what I saw there, it was such an incredible venue. And it was a veritable feast for people who love music. What happened on that night? What artists did you have on that night?
So we had Emily Williamson and we had Phoebe White. These are another set of musicians I discovered on my own when I went to another music program. I met Emily and she literally said, oh, I'm doing just one song. She opened her mouth, she sang, and it was wow. And once again,
I witnessed that.
It was an instant vibe. And the same thing with Phoebe. Phoebe did the same thing, and it was okay. And then, as I said to you, there's a story behind it. So chapters, the way chapters came about is, I've always been an MC, so like master of ceremony, hosted events since I was in high school. I did it stop-start for a bit, the typical situation of, can this be a career? Wasn't sure, you know, growing up in Nigeria and having a different, very strict parents of, you know, go out there, get a degree. So it was very stop-start. And but what I came to realize is, as I said to you, the music world is very talented, but there's no personality or there's no personal connection, there's no relationship between the artist and the crowd until they become successful. Now my issue with that is success is from a lot of stepping stones. I'm interested in the stepping stone because that's how you get to know people, the process, the journey.
Why is that so important to you though?
Yeah, because it tells me more about the person than where they are now. Everybody wants to jump on a success story. Oh, you're so amazing. Oh, take my card or whatever. Everybody wants to be part of that, you know, the glory. I like the fight. I like the process because it tells me more about you as an individual, and it makes me understand the decisions and different things that you make, or different decisions that you get to make. So, for example, let's use Emily for example. She sang the song which was about I'm tired of doing the same things over and over again. I want to change. But that came about with situations that happened in her life, relationship struggles, work struggles, life struggles. All that came together to form the music that we hear, and we're like, oh wow, this is amazing. But if you're concentrating on the, oh, this is amazing, what happens to the process? So you know the music, but you don't know her. But if you know her, then you know what she went through, and you have a bigger connection to the music itself. The best way I describe it is, you have a favorite movie. Everybody has a favorite movie. They watch Christmas movies, for example. People watch it like 20 times. They remember each scene, they remember the music. Oh my God, this part always makes me feel good. That's because you've come to understand the characters. You've come to understand the movie over and over again. So you could literally not watch a movie, but talk about it and talk about each scene, talk about the music. That's what I want for the musicians. I want you to, when you leave an event, to have that intimate feeling and go, I understand the story, I understand a chapter of their life. And then you tend to appreciate the music more.
I get it now. Chapters, now I get it. Absolutely makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Emily's telling her stories about situations that have happened in relationships with family, friends, and of course, boys. Oh, you terrible boys. Yeah, so tell us about Big Fred, Grandad.
So my granddad was a banjo and guitar player, and I quite fancied a bit of singing when I was younger. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent, by the way, if you can't pick up the accent. You're right, ducks. And basically, as soon as he heard that I wanted to sing, he started dragging me around with his jazz band. Didn't teach me any songs at first. He used to just put sheets of words in front of me, and he'd be like, sing it. And I'd be like, Grandad, I don't know the song. And he'd be like, just sing it. Just sing it. Anyway, so that started when I was 12 and I'm now 28. So I've been around with a few different jazz bands, and tonight is actually my first gig singing my first original songs.
That, to me, I kind of associate that with what people say today as being their truth. Do you see that, the whole thing? Like, so you don't normally associate that with kind of like indie, acoustic, rock or pop music, do you? It's normally just more associated with like hip hop and things like that. So that's quite, I like the fact that you've got that connection. And it seems to work. I mean, I was there, I loved it. And again, mesmerising artists, and you've gone and told us how you find them. You like to go around. Is there any other venues that you go to?
So there's a very big music scene in Camden.
Okay.
And the beauty of social media, Instagram, and particularly what I tend to do is to go for more quieter music scenes, bars here, clubs there, because then I think there's a bit more hunger in those scenes. So if you walk through Camden, there are loads of open mics all around, and then you have musicians that sometimes are standing and singing to a crowd of 5 people. the fact that you can still put your heart and soul into your music with just 5 people, that tells me more about you as an individual than for somebody to consistently have a big crowd and just go, yeah, this is normal. So it's that hunger that I'm looking for. It's the intimate feel. Can you perform live? Are you happy with the fact that there's probably 2 people, out of 2 people there, one person is eating crisps by the corner and not even paying attention, but you're there singing. You're trying to tell a story. So those are the kind of places I like to go to, and every now and then it's, I like a bit of a social life, not like partying and stuff, but it's, you know, environments that make people happy. So I poke around in different places and see where the magic is.
So what I find interesting is that what drew you to that type of music? Because we wouldn't automatically associate, you know, someone from Nigeria being into the music that I saw on that night.
Well, my parents, pretty much. I grew up with a wild, big genre of music to listen to.
Wow.
I can remember on a Sunday, my dad is playing. We wake up in the morning, preparing to go to church. It's classical music being played. On the way to church, we're listening to Harry Belafonte or Doris Day. We're coming back from church, there's Motown. Then every now and then, listening to the radio as a kid, this typical African high life music. So it was just like a constant flow of different genres of music, and you getting to have your pick. But because my parents were very into, it was pretty much, my dad felt that at every point of each day, there was some music to go with it. There was something. There was always, oh, let's play this time. Even Disney, there was all that music just there. So, and then my parents, I'm the last of 3. And I usually say I'm the last of 4 because I have a cousin that grew up with us. But and everybody was into, there was rap, there was Motown, there was jazz, there was blues, there was even boy band music. So I got that very wide array of choices as a kid growing up. And of course, as you know, in a black family, it is, I'm the last, so I pretty much had no say. So whatever anybody was listening to at the time, that's what I was listening to. So, you know, you got to learn.
From the elders.
Yes, you got to learn. So they pretty much passed.
From another generation, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. They pretty much passed everything down. So I had choices. This person likes this person likes that. So my music love, or my music library is quite big. I used to always get, I remember in university, and you have a group of boys sitting down and somebody's playing PlayStation or somebody's doing something. And they're like, oh, put on some music, or what's playing in your, at the time when we had CD players. And so we go, oh, what's in your CD? And somebody presses play, and it's playing Everly Brothers. And they're like, what's wrong with this guy? But it's the array of music I've always had. So I like everything out there. And that's how I pick the pool of music, because to me it's the lyrics, the sound, it just depends how the vibe gets to you at the time.
Fantastic. And you know what I noticed about your night as well, and which surprised me, because when I met you, you came across as quite a serious guy. You know, there was this comedic element to your hosting. Where's this comedy? Are you a comedian or? So
I never class myself as a comedian. I think that is an accolade just for special people. I mean, you have comedians that do stand up, So Last Child, class clown, the one that runs around with too much energy. I've always had that as a kid, and I owe my going on the stage to loads of people. But the first person that actually pushed me to go on stage was a teacher called Mr. Batus. So when I was in secondary school, high school, boarding school, and we had social nights, and each class will host the night. And we were looking for who host on the day. And Mr. Batus looks at me and goes, you never stop talking anyways, so why don't you just go on stage? And I looked at him, I was like, and he was like, if you don't, you know when the teacher gives you that, if you don't,
you're gonna miss out.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, cool. And I went on stage, and it's been there since. So people see, so the more you get to know me, you see the clown, comedic, you know, always entertaining, trying to. But if I meet you for the first time, and as you said, oh, hi, how are you? You're like, nah. So I've had friends that have come to watch a few shows, and it's like, wow, this is different. But yeah, I would class myself, I would say I'm slightly funny, funny. Comedy is for the Dave Chappelle's, and those are the big boys, and all the other Eddie Caddies, Mo Gilligan. But I'm an entertainer. pretty much, and I'm very comfortable on the stage.
No, you seem that way, definitely. Another thing as well I loved about your night was great DJ, great music. We won't go too much into that because obviously I want to talk more, it's more about the artists and stuff. But there was a thing though whereby you kept going on about the angry one, who to me wasn't very angry. You're just picking on your friend, aren't you?
No, so the angry
Is
one...
it just part of your act?
The angry one, so I've known the angry one, so it's my business partner, is also the other half of chapters. I always explain to people I'm the why guy, he's the how and when guy. You know, it's I have a vision, let's try and place things, and he's like, okay, we do this, so he gets things done. He's like head of operations for chapters. He is I've known him for 12 years, and it's one of those, what people would probably describe as aggressive, but he's straight to the point, like, look, are we doing this or not? And is that kind of guy. And you could hear us having a normal conversation and you think it's an argument. We're not shouting, but because of the way he talks and applies himself, and he's it's not a short fuse, but it's, you know, when we have a solution, why are we wasting time? Let's just do it. So we do other podcasts, and we've become very close friends over the years, 12 years I said. And so the name just came out probably about a year and a half ago. And he's talking, I'm like, oh man, why are you always angry? Like, the angry one. So his Instagram handle is that angry one. And he's, as you can see when he came on stage too, he just straight to the point, like, yeah, welcome, boom. And that's how he is. So he's the other half of chapters, where I'm going around with the musicians trying to get things done. He does all the operations, logistics, venues, and pretty much everything. So it's two of us that created chapters pretty much for the musicians. So I'm not the happy one. I'm just me, MC Saabii Boi, and he's the angry one. It's like straight to the point, like focus.
Brilliant.
Phoebe is all about what happens around the world and a message that needs to go out. And she, during the pandemic, Makaji, yes? Do you want to sing? Yeah, sure. 100%. Okay, cool.
Oh, baby, don't weep. You just gotta breathe. 'Cause running ain't helpful if you're gonna live for real. Oh, baby, look up. Stoke the fire inside. Keep your heart hopeful. Jump on the ride. Oh, baby, don't you feel the sorrow? You gotta keep on dreaming tomorrow. Baby, don't wait. Oh, baby, don't weep. Oh.
Well, I'm really glad that you care about music and you have a love for it, and you're doing chapters and giving everyone an opportunity to see and learn about great music. But I remember when I was there and I was listening to what was being said, and it came across that you've been in the army or something. Is that?
Yeah, I was in the military. 4 years, 2 months, 3 days. I'm just good with numbers if you're counting. Yeah, I was in the military, served with the 1st Battalion Grenadier Guards. That was the only regiment I was attached to because of the time I spent in the military. And it was fun. Will I encourage people to join the military? Yes. There are loads of benefits, loads of things you can learn. I was lucky because I joined at an adult age. I didn't join when I was 16 and had no foundation of life. So I took what I already knew, joined the military, blended it together, and it's something that, no regrets. I enjoyed it. Will I do it again? No. But do I regret it? Not at all. Made some very good friends. Learned how to shoot.
Yeah, don't shoot me though.
And as I said, develop brothers and sisters for life. And the army has a wide array of, I mean, this is not a PR for the military, it's just what it is. People see the military, see the green and just think war and all that. But what everybody needs to remember is the army is actually there for peace. It's not there to start the war, it's actually there to keep peace. And the way the British military runs is you can be educated, you can learn a course, you can learn different skills and still be a soldier. So it's, and I look good in the uniform. I'll show you one or two pictures. It wasn't too bad, it wasn't too bad.
You can send them over and we'll put them in the video.
Yeah, we do.
But so how does it feel then to have lost the head of state?
It was, I mean, one of the best ways I used to describe it is the world has seen a lot of things. Wars here, you know, pandemics. And she was the one thing that was constant. She was the one thing that was constant. She was always known for her grace, care, kind. And the closest I ever got to her was, I did the Remembrance Day March in 2015. So I was there at the Senate office. I was like there and she was there. So that's like the closest I got to her. Like, yeah. I couldn't move there. I was stood to attention and like there. And it's tragic. I think it's tragic for the UK. It's tragic for the military because it's the longest head of state they're ever going to have. And it was a very different perspective, being who she was, a woman, woman queen. Obviously, queens are women, but you know, female head of state. It's a sad day, but the message she always portrayed was keep moving, keep fighting. So I guess that's what we'll continue doing in her memory.
Definitely. And do you think she would have loved the artist that you put on?
100%, 100%. If she, it is. I think she would have loved the whole show. The whole show. Maybe someday some royal will come for chapter. Maybe someday.
Well, hopefully now you're inviting them. So invite them now.
Oh yeah, everybody, royal family, even Harry, Meghan, wherever you are, you might not be royals, but still come down, come back for chapters, and you have a good time. You have a good time. You get to meet me and everybody else. So I'm the angry one. So we should be good. Come down.
It's a fantastic show, everybody, and I would seriously recommend going down to check it out. And there's going to be new acts. Is anyone that you're looking at putting on next, or any
yes.
ideas?
So our next show is the 24th of November. It's actually at Thames's dock, so not at the barge this time. So the barge is on the right side, and if you come out of Vauxhall, if you go towards Lambeth Bridge, it's Thames's dock. Still on the boat, good feeling, good evening. Simple format, the DJ starts, I come on stage, do my thing, entertain the crowd. The acts come on, and this time we're open till 1. So after the acts go on, there's more mingling session with the artist. Get to ask them questions personally if you want. And there's a DJ playing fantastic music, it's Bowie. And we'll make it a good party. It's the last chapter show of this year, but we're working for more shows next year, and hopefully, with fingers crossed, if everything goes according to plan, we should have more shows next year, probably once a month. And we'll continue building the platform and see what happens.
Thank you so much, Julian. It's an absolute pleasure having you on Clusterview.com.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Yes, we will.
Oh, baby, don't weep. You just gotta breathe.